welcome to Muscle News Weekly with me, Giles Thomas, and
me, IFBB Pro, Rosie Rascal Hart.
Rosie, how's your week been?
Good. I was in London again doing my business course with Mark Coles. So learning lots about branding, sales, marketing.
Is that for your coaching, your supplements, everything?
For everything, yeah. For the Rascal range, basically just for the Rosie Rascal brand, which is the umbrella over lots of different things.
Good. So you're getting plenty out of it then?
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Good.
Absolutely. And Mark, the coaching that Mark gives is just like next level.
Good. Well,
how about you?
Well, I've been to the Arnold Classic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely fantastic time. Just absolutely brilliant. I've got so much content because I actually wasn't going to do an episode this week because I've got Global Muscle Radio. I'm recording episodes 11 and 12 tomorrow and Tuesday, and then we do a Hot News Live. But I had so much kind of behind the scenes footage from the show. I just thought I've got enough there to put like a really...
Shame not to put it out there.
Yeah, basically. So... yeah, and I'm not going to be putting any of the interviews I did that were on MD because you already go to musculardevelopment.com. They're all on there. Or if you go to the MD YouTube channel, you can just scroll through, click on videos, and you'll see all the interviews, all the wrap-ups, the previews, absolutely everything. I mean, me and Ron Harris, we produced an absolute ton of content, and I'm really, really happy with what we produced. And I felt a lot better in myself, than I was at Olympia. Yeah. And a bit of anxiety the night before and everything. I told that to Steve Bleckman, actually, and he was really shocked when I told him that. Yeah. I said it wasn't like a panic attack I had the night before the Olympia. I was up in my hotel room. But it was like a bit of an anxiety thing, which but I still managed to kind of pull it off. Yeah. So going out there to the Arnold this time, I had none of that. I felt indestructible. I felt great. I felt fully confident.
The interviews I saw this time round, they were like so much better than the Olympia. I know probably other people wouldn't notice, but I noticed that you were more calm, composed. So to me, I could see that you were really much more engaged with the athletes. You were listening because you weren't in that sort of anxious state that you were.
And I was actually able to say musculardevelopment.com right every single time.
Yeah, because your brain was slow enough for or is it the other way around? Your mouth was slow enough for your brain.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so let's get through everything because I've got an absolute amazing clips which I took on my phone and a lot of stories and stuff. So yeah, first up, obviously, Brandon Curry. I called it.
Yay!
In fact, and I've got proof, I'm not just saying that, because if you check out the latest edition of MD, this was written probably 6 to 8 weeks ago. I put Brandon Curry's Arnold Classic, my dark horse pick, and yeah, he won. So thank you, Brandon. No pressure there, but
Are you happier for him or happier for you because you said he was going to win. You predicted it.
Equal amounts. But yeah, I was absolutely thrilled for him. And in fact, after the judging, I had William Bonnet winning, but because William looked perfect, he looked fantastic. But then Brandon just managed to fill out a little bit more for the night show, and William just lost a little bit of pop, and because he wasn't quite, he was rock hard. His separation lines were clean, separated, but he definitely looked. He peaked at the judging, whereas Brandon just managed to pull ahead. But then I spoke to Brandon, and he said that he got a clean score at the judging. I haven't checked that yet, so maybe I'll check this after we film.
And what about Brandon from the back then, after you'd spoke to his coach and he sent you that picture? Abdullah sent you the picture to show the improvements he'd made in the back shots. So how did that translate once he was on stage?
It did.
Yeah.
It did translate. His glutes, his hamstrings were all deeply separated. I still think he needs a bit more calf, something going on more in the calf area. There was more detail in the back, but I told him he still, because I think there's a serious possibility he could win the Olympia. But I said to him on the final day when I caught him at the lobby, I'll show the video clip in a bit, I said, there's still a little bit of squishiness in the rear double bicep.
You tell me you like squishiness.
In women. Not in not in male bodybuilders on stage when they're competing.
Okay, fine.
That's a totally separate separate deal. Yeah. So like I know it sounds. I mean, I'm so nerdy with this. Like around the rear delts and around the scapular area, you know, like William Bonac was just like he'd been carved with a knife, whereas Brandon has made big strides forward. But I do believe if he really wants to sort of challenge Sean Roden, Rowley, and all those guys who will be on their A game at the Olympia, he definitely needs to get a bit more detail, but he's on his way. And the thing is, he looks so much bigger at this contest than he did at the Olympia last year when he took 5th. And everyone was saying, how much heavier is he? He wasn't.
He was more conditioned.
No, he was 10 pounds lighter. I mean,
so he looked bigger because he was more conditioned.
Yes, yeah, everything was popping more. I mean, his front lat spread, I mean, someone posted it on the MD forums and they said that's just like the shot of the year. He just looked phenomenal.
So how do you think that in what ways did he beat Bonac then?
A midsection.
Yeah, because Bonac's not got a big midsection, but he's so stacked with muscle. There's no waistline, is there? Yeah, and there was something going on in his second row of abs that was causing a little bit of distraction, especially when he stood next to Brandon, who's got wider shoulders and a smaller waist. He's got a better taper. Yeah. But like I said, I did have William edging him at the judging, but then it was literally that for the night show, and it was like, yeah, I think Brandon's going to win this. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic. And also, William won the Most Muscular Award. And as soon as he won that, I knew he wasn't going to win, because that always goes to the person who gets second. I said to Steve and Ron, I says, he's lost. He's got the Most Muscular Award. They never give that to the winner. That's like a consolation prize. So yeah. It's like the... and you've won the cuddly toy.
Yeah.
And then the other person gets a holiday to Barbados for like 2 weeks. Oh, thanks.
Yes, basically.
Giant koala bear.
Yeah. So anyway, so let's go to a clip of Brandon when he was announced the winner, and then I'll show his winning speech with Arnold. So let's go to that now.
Champion, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking awesome. Yeah.
So let's hear it. What made you so perfect? Well, man, God is good, man. Good genetics, man. Good coaching. Coach Abdullah, Oxygen Gym.
Yes!
My wife supporting me. My kids being here supporting me. I got the best team in the world. I got the best team in the world. That's what you see. This is the second Arnold Classic that we won, and we won the third. We won in Australia. Oh, Brazil too. That's right. Yeah. Well, I was in Brazil last time. I was in the hospital. Yeah, exactly. In 2013, yeah, but not the last year. Okay, well, congratulations. You look fantastic. We see you very soon in Australia. Okay, good. See you, bye-bye. Give him a big hand, come on.
Yeah!
A selfie here, and then a Snapchat, one more second.
Yes, so that was Brandon's speech, and yeah, and his wife Brandy was so happy. I had a good chat with Brandy as well, his wife, and she was the one who convinced him to go to Kuwait at the end of 2017. And she was saying that because her family, there's a lot of professional sports people in her family, she said, so for him to go away for a few months at a time to train and focus,
normal. That's
normal to her. It was more of a not inconvenience, but he was more stressful for him because he felt, I don't know, just being away from his family, whereas Brandy kind of just had the kids and she kind of just gets on with it. She's a strong female, you know. Yeah.
She used to compete too, yeah?
Yeah, she was pro bikini, yeah. She's a lovely, lovely lady.
So I think it helps to understand what you know, what it's all about.
And 4 kids as well. So, and obviously when he's when he's over in Kuwait, there's no distraction. There's nothing but to do, sleep, eat and train.
Are his kids all into sports and stuff?
Yes. If you go to his Instagram, go to Brandon Curry's Instagram there, and you'll see all his kids are very sporty. In fact, the little one's huge. He's like, I think he's like 4 years old or something, and he looks like he's like built like an 8-year-old, you know. So he's obviously got the family genetics. But yeah. So yes, okay. And also next, is the Meet the Athletes. That was the first opportunity we got to see all the athletes, and so I'm going to show a little bit of clips because I was filming Ron when he was interviewing. So all the video clips are of me filming Ron interviewing because he didn't get any of me, he just took photos. So let's go to that now.
Let's do it again.
Ron Harris here from musculardevelopment.com. Coverage of the Arnold Classic weekend brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Here with one of the most popular bikini athletes of our generation. Bikini's only been around for one generation, but still. Janet, how do you say your last name?
Layu.
You've all been saying it wrong. I've been saying it wrong. Layu. Okay, now, Janet is going to introduce some people to us. I thought these were just some very young You know, if you guys don't think Victor's ready, because Victor's no spring chicken, I can say it because I'm old and but look at that face. That's the skull face. I don't need to see it.
Start eating a little bit more, filling out, but at the end of the day, you know, it's all.
You look, if I had to guess,
Straight. Just cross your legs. There you go. No. Lean back more. No. Straighten your body. Straighten your body. He doesn't know English. I don't think this is his first time. Arm legs straight.
all over because
Brian, you got power?
check.
Oh, yeah. Got you. So happy for you.
And a 1, and a 2.
Here we go.
Wait, quick. We got people waiting on.
Ready? Here we go.
Ron Harris here from WestcoastDevelopment.com, bringing you the Arnold Classic coverage, courtesy of High Tech Pharmaceuticals. I'm here with the Dutch Beast, Rosie Winkler. 10 years ago, this man turned pro right here in Columbus, Ohio at the Arnold Amateur. Now he's back to win the pro division. Rosie, how do you feel?
I feel okay. I feel bad.
Yeah. Okay, I got to say the first thing that everyone's thinking, Nepal, you look like you had a lot of water, but we've seen you. Josh Lenartowicz says he saw you drop so much water in 3 days one time, come in shredded. Are you going to pull it off again? Are you going to come in and win this show?
No, that was 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
We're talking about after 2 weeks. We're talking about after 2 weeks, everybody has to be ready.
Pete and Chris have done a good job.
Last year, 2018, you did a lot of shows. You did very well. Everyone loves your shape. Great shape, great symmetry. And did you take some time off to put a little bit more size on it? It looks to me like you're bigger now.
Yeah, now I have it more 10 pounds.
10 pounds? Wow.
And 15 pounds now.
So you're about 250 on stage or more now?
So I think it is 247, 248.
So that's, as you saw in those clips, there was Josh Lenartowicz, Victor Martinez, Rafael Brandao, and Rosie Winkler.
Were you getting them all to sign your underpants again?
Sign my underpants, yes. And also did a really good interview with Luke as well. And we'll talk more about Luke in a minute, but because he was probably
a star of the show.
He was, yeah, he was. Apart from him and Brandon, I think he was the big shock of the show. But yes, I had a good chat with Rafael Brandao because he speaks English now. Okay. Because he's been, and I said to him, I said, where have you learned English? And he said, well, I've been in California for the last 6-7 weeks. And he said it's really helped. I mean, he could hold a proper conversation.
Yeah, because when you did an interview when he was with Patrick, we had to have Patrick there to support the conversation a little bit, didn't he?
He didn't have a clue what I was saying. But Raphael, 25 years old, 6'1", I think he was around about 250, he said. I know when he saw him at San Marino in 2017, he was 245 pounds. And people were saying, maybe he should go classic. But even then, he was 20 pounds too heavy for the classic.
What did you think to his shape this time? Because he put on quite a lot of size quite quickly.
Yeah.
From, say, when he was with Patrick to Chris Aceto. My opinion was the shape was compromised a little bit.
Yeah.
That kind of beautiful, old school, classic shape was compromised a little bit. What do you think? Do you think it sort of had leveled out and the muscle had a bit more time to sit and settle?
He looked perfect.
Yeah.
Totally leveled out. His physique was, I mean, the waistline was small, it was flat, the aesthetics, the lines. I spoke to him and I said, look, please, I said, you're 25, Raphael. I said, do not rush this. I said, you were first call out at the Arnold Classic. And apart from Sean Roden, Ramy and Phil Heath, you have basically the top 10 Olympia guys there. So you're getting first call out at 25 years old. Most guys aren't even turning pro into their mid-30s. So, and I said, keep those aesthetics. And he went, oh, Giles, he says, I love aesthetics.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing. And I'm sure Chris, he's in good. I mean, Chris has, prepped Kamal and Sean Roden and Luke. So he's not going to try and bang too much size on him to ruin those. Because at 25 years old, he's in a very good position right now. So nice kid as well. I like him. Really cool kid. And really pleased for him. I think he got, 7th or 8th place. He didn't make top 6, but he was just outside. Yeah. And also going back to Victor Martinez, I have no explanation for what happened to Victor.
Give us a little bit of an explanation of the no explanation then.
Okay.
Because I don't know what.
Because he looked fantastic. And he got last call out.
Right, okay.
He was last call out.
Weird.
I don't get it. He's 45 years old. He looked the best I've seen him for 10 years maybe. I mean, this is the best I think I've personally ever seen Victor. Yeah. I mean, he was shredded. His colour was perfect. His aesthetics, as you know, are just they're like Sean Roden's. They're next level aesthetics. He kind of ticked every box.
Have you spoke to him since?
Yeah, we had a selfie.
You need to get him on the Global Muscle Radio.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Have you asked him yet?
No, but I will. I'd love to get Victor.
I would love to watch that too.
He's cool, Victor. He's one of my all-time favourites.
One of my favourites too.
But it's funny because we were back at the hotel on the Saturday night. Jessica Reyes Padilla was sat with me, Steve, and Ron, and then I went over to speak to Victor, and Victor wanted a selfie with me. I thought, Jessica goes, you know this guy? And he goes, yeah, Giles is my boy. And I was like, I think he's drunk, to be fair. Maybe he thinks of somebody else.
Just to remind people, who is Jessica?
Jessica, we're going to talk about more later in the show because because she was competing at the Arnold in figure. She's competing. Yeah, she took 3rd place. I had a 2nd, and I think she's going to win the Arnold Australia this week. So lovely lady as well. Good chat with her, and. The Meet the Athletes was fantastic. And in fact, I've got to show you a little clip of when I was rudely interrupted whilst I was doing my preview with Ron Harris. I was accosted and distracted, but we left it in, so let's go to that now. And I thought Brandon Curry is really going to step up this year, and I think he could have been a favourite for the win. So, top 3...
Cedric. There goes Cedric McMillan. Okay, another possible win.
Cedric there, so... I was like, what the hell's that? So, sorry, you guys threw me there completely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think...
Yes, so I got a big kiss off Cedric McMillan. Yes, that's one ticked off my bucket list. I think maybe he was thanking me for you cooking all his chicken in Japan. Because you were his personal chef for the week, weren't you?
Yeah, but do you know what? The first night, I think I must have... tricked him because the first night when he first got there and I cooked his chicken, I made quite a bit of effort. Like I was like, shit, I'm cooking Cedric McMillan's chicken. Like,
you didn't spit on it?
No, but you know when you're cooking for someone else, it's like, because when I cook my food, I'm just like slapdash. I do it super quick. It probably tastes like crap to anyone else. So when you cook for someone else, it's a bit of pressure.
Ooh.
I know I don't cook at home, do I?
You never make nice chicken for me. You make it for Cedric, though.
But I made him this chicken and I put this seasoning on. I was like, right, cook it just to the right. amount of time. But then the following days, we were rushing and stuff, so I just cooked it all. It was all dry and stuff. And I saw him sort of eat some out of the box and then just put it back in.
No!
And then he didn't really eat much more. That's when he started eating cereal bars.
Cereal bars?
So maybe I'm to blame for
him
not sticking on his prep. You've 100% that in Japan.
You've cost him 3 places at Olympia last year for that. Put him off his game.
And the other thing as well is I said, do you want chip? I think I said chips, because I made some steak and got some potatoes, cut the potatoes up, put them in coconut oil and cooked them into chips.
Yeah.
But he thought I meant crisps. But he said yes to that. He said yes. I took the potatoes and he didn't want those, but he wanted crisps, I think.
He's naughty, isn't he?
Steak and crisps.
Yeah, Josh Artwick said he was eating pizzas the night before. Said Cedric, he grassed to Cedric up in... If you watch episode 9 of Global Muscle Radio, my other show, he said that Josh said that he'd caught Cedric eating pizza the night before because they both went back together to the pizza place the night after, and the waiter said to Cedric, "Oh, would you like the same again they had last night?" So we've got our eye on you, Cedric. So, yes, Cedric was good as well. He took 4th place. I didn't know where to place him though. It was really weird. I just couldn't figure it out. And did you see the way he blindfolded himself on stage?
I've not seen this yet. I've just heard it from you.
Mixed response on that one. I thought it was just Cedric. It was just creative.
When you told me about it on message, you said it was kinky as fuck.
I did say kinky as fuck. Totally grasped me up there, dear. Thank you very much. Yeah, I just because it didn't click that it was the Bird Box thing.
So you
the Sandra Bullock film.
You thought it was like kink.
I just don't know whether I thought there must have been some hidden meaning to it. But then obviously when they said, "Oh, it's Bird Box," I was like, yeah, of course, the trend of... I've not seen the film on Netflix, but it's just...
Well, Cedric likes to sort of get a little bit creative and express himself when he does his routines. So maybe as well it was because he doesn't practice first. He doesn't. It's all just sort of improvised, and like he goes off the energy that he feels and all this kind of thing. So maybe it was just like a extension of that to take away some of the external senses, so it could be even more from the heart. Right in the feels.
Right in there. Okay. Yes. So that was fantastic. And obviously, and on the Friday night, myself, Ron Harris, and my good friend Crystal, who I met 8 years ago at the Arnold After Party. We've been friends ever since. We all, because whenever we go to the Arnold, we always meet up together, and her and Ron, and we all go out. And we went to this. Yes, so that's Phil Heath. It was a charity night. It's the 7th year he's run it in Columbus. This was at the Big Bang Piano Bar. It was funny because we took a taxi and it was literally right behind the hotel. The guy says that place is literally around the back, but Crystal's she's had some problems with her spine. Yeah. So I was like, well, we'll just take a taxi anyway. So he took us the long way around, and I think we walked back. It was just it was at the back of the hotel. So yeah, that was a complete waste.
Anyway, you want to turn up like more stylish.
Yeah, in a smelly old cab. It wasn't a limo.
No, all right.
But yes,
horse and carriage.
Yes, yes. So because aside from the fact it's a good cause, and I think it's good to be supporting things like charity events and stuff like that. Phil was the first guest on Global Muscle Radio when the show wasn't established. He kind of knew me, and the fact that he came on, he gave us so much of his time. He came on in episode 9 at an hour's notice. He didn't even wait till he got home. He had his laptop with him, and he gave us an hour, giving us all his predictions for the Arnold Classic. So, and he's always been completely sound with me and AJ, and I really appreciate that. So we wanted to show support, so we all went along, we took some photos, and yes, and this was the moment where Phil greeted me, and I apologise for being late, so good luck there.
That's all right, you're at the show, right? I get it, you gotta work. I get it, you're working. You got a fish right here. Okay. That's my good shit. All right. Don't pick it up.
so he was very pleased to see me and Ron. Ron did like an MD Facebook Live thing, and we talked about the charity.
How late were you?
Late. It was well, we were filming, and then we had to get some food, and then we went over. It'd been going for like an hour or two, but there was still a couple of hours left. But yeah, there was all these NFL stars there, and it's funny because there was like where you saw that backdrop with all the that's where everyone was getting photos. And as soon as the photos were done, I think I was the last one in the queue, and we were talking for maybe 20-30 minutes. As soon as that was done, the tequila came out. So yeah, so I've got some. Do you want to see some footage of Mr. Olympia drinking tequila?
Yes.
Check this out. Who likes tequila? Yes, and I've actually got another clip of where he looks like he's had probably too many tequilas. Do you want to see that?
Yeah.
You got to see this.
You all look alike.
Look how wanking Philip. Yes, so yes, he likes his tequila. And that guy who he was talking to, Robert Irvine, he's like Gordon Ramsay. He's like a huge household name in America. He's a British guy, moved there 23 years ago, and he's like a huge TV star. He's a TV chef. He's got magazines. He's got like a protein bar company. It was worth, you know.
And what was his involvement in that event though, or was he just coming to support?
He was coming to support Phil. They're good friends.
Okay.
So I kind of got a bit of a joke going on with Robert, and I started giving him business advice, which the management wasn't sure about. They were looking at Robert as if to say, what is he saying to me? And then they looked really bored.
No, I told you not to do jokes outside of the house.
Well, he went along with it. He appreciated it. And they looked at Robert and they were like, why is he going along with this? And I said, look, I've got a good feeling about you, Robert. I said, I think if you keep working hard, you're going to make it, mate. I know you've been in America 23 years, but you've got to keep working hard.
Had you been drinking as well at this point?
I'd had one gin and tonic, which was very strong. And then his management were looking at him, and then they were looking at me, and then they kind of realised that Robert, they must have thought, it must be a British humour thing. And then the manager just put his hand and he says, I like this guy. But, and then we all got very drunk. So no, it was a fantastic night though. And Phil raised, I think, just short of $50,000 that night, which will... They're going towards buying iPads with this app that increases autistic children's word power. I forget the name. It takes them something like, because the average autistic child has 20,000 words in their vocabulary, but when they use this, they can go up to 50,000. So it helps their communication skills, because that's what autism is. It's about, they have problems communicating in the outside world.
Yeah, they perceive things in a different way. So it's,
so $50,000 is going to buy a lot of iPads.
It's crazy.
So good on you, Phil, and we'll be supporting you again next year. And got to show a little video, because I said Phil insisted upon sending a little video to AJ.
Okay.
So I was going to.
AJ, somebody wants to say hello. Where are you at? Someone let it in. Someone wouldn't let you in. I know it was Donald Trump, but will I see you at FIBO? Yes, we need to get you at FIBO. Yeah, I'm going. AJ, that's an order. You want to have him with the chair? Let's go.
Yes, so as you can see, AJ was, Phil Heath was missing AJ.
Oh, broskies.
Broskies.
You were going to go like that then.
Was I?
I don't even know.
No, I got a pen in my hand, that's why. Yes, so fantastic night, and it was nice to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So I met Shuri as well, Phil's wife, who's lovely.
They're not married yet, though.
They are married.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they got married in very quietly secret.
Secret?
Sneaky. Yeah. He said they just went and did it one day. And
cool.
They just woke up that day and then decided to do it. So
I
think that's what happened. Yeah, they're definitely married though. But I think they are going to have a big
to do party.
Yeah, it's party. Yes. Yes. So next up we have Brandon versus Bonac. Now, obviously, I was talking about this earlier. This was very close. I'll show the footage from the judging, and then we'll go straight into the night show. And if you can see, this is how I had it. Like I said, I had Bonac at the judging, and the night show I had Brandon Pippin. And I think just the structure, the overall structure, and the fact he just filled out beautifully for the night show pulled him ahead. So watch that now.
Here we go.
Gentlemen, switch sides, please. Front double bicep. Front lat spread.
Oh, here we go. Come on, Brandon. That's it, William.
Side chest.
Come on, Troy. Yeah, that's it. Just money shot, William. You, baby. Yeah, Brandon. Brandon's got that. That's the one. Get it, Curry.
Back double bicep.
Let's see them big lats here, baby. Big back, Brennan! Get it, Brennan! Got it, Brennan!
Back lat spread.
Come on, Brandon. Get it, Curry!
Guys, let's spread
Side tricep.
on the screen.
Oh, there it is. We're good, Brandon. Get it, Brandon! Yeah, Brandon!
Abdominals and thighs.
Oh, look at his stomach.
Who do you like, ladies and gentlemen? Brandon! Get it, Curry!
Your favorite, most muscular.
Come on, Brandon! Come on, let's light this place up. Is it Brandon? Is it William?
Gentlemen, relax. Take 2 steps back. Another step.
Get it. Get it, Brandon! Curry!
Relax. Face the statue and hit a back double bicep.
Get it, Brandon! Close. Oh. Brandon! Get it, Brandon!
Relax, side chest.
Get it, Brandon! Three!
Your favorite? Last pose, gentlemen, hit it.
That's it, man. Yeah!
Thank you, gentlemen.
Cedric kissing me, that's ticked off. Okay. Yes, so that's William Bonac versus Brandon Curry. Very, very close fight. The thing is,
Hang on a second as well. What was Brandon's routine like? Because you'd asked him to put a little bit of something nice together.
it was better, but not where it needs to be. The music was a bit boring.
Room for improvement.
Yeah. Music
What
was a bit
about
boring.
Bonac, though? Because he always does really beautiful routines.
Brilliant routine. Brilliant routine. And Josh Lenartowicz, remember if you watched episode 9, he said he wanted to win the Best Poser Award, and he was practicing his posing from, I think, 20 weeks out.
Yeah.
He won it, $10,000. So he was buzzing. In fact, let's go to a clip of Arnold trolling Josh when he won. Because he says, give me 5 classic poses, and then Josh hit 2, and then Arnold says, no, come on. Well, you can watch it.
That was the 5 poses, it was 2. Don't lick us off, otherwise there's a cut to take. Yeah, there you are. 2 more, come on. Most muscular. Double bicep. Up the front. Very nice. Okay, let's give him a big hand.
Yes, so Josh was very happy. Josh was, I was expecting Josh to maybe be around third, fourth place. He was too heavy. He was probably 8 to 10 pounds over. I definitely think he can peak for the Arnold Australia, because he just, like, from the back, he was very watery. And like with Rowley, when they go a little bit too heavy, he just goes a little bit wide in the midsection. I think a good 8 to 10 pound off that, which he can drop in 2 weeks between Columbus and Australia, I think he can definitely pull ahead.
Who have we got then coming in top 6 at the Australia?
Oh, God. Luke Sander, William Bonac. William Bonac came second last year. Rowley. Now talk about Rowley. Rowley was it happened, after seeing the Nepal guest posing, what I thought was going to happen happened. Well, didn't happen. He didn't manage to pull it in. In fact, I think he was not even as good as condition as he was last year. I've heard many excuses, saying he was only in Q8 from Curacao 8 weeks before. He'd had knee surgery, he did food poisoning. But at the end of the day, he shouldn't have been guest posing 2 weeks out if he only had 8 weeks to prep. He needs, the thing is though, it's not like, he was coming in off like a tsunami of hype from the Olympia after placing third. Really, it was with Phil out.
Why was the reason there was only a prep for 8 weeks?
I don't know, but he never seems to bring his A game to the Arnold. He probably will tighten up. He dropped 15 pounds last year when he took 4th from the Arnold to the Arnold Australia, and he won, beating William Bonac and Dexter. But I think he's got more than that to lose. His condition was not good, not good. But he's so big. It's just he just looked 4 weeks out. I think he will be top 3 at the Arnold Australia. But I think he's going to peak. If he does the Arnold Brazil, he will win that, because he just needs a few more weeks.
Just laughing about the video you did, the wrap-up with Ron. And Ron was talking about Rowley, and he was like, he looked all right, didn't he? Aren't you impressed with how he pulled it round? And Giles' face was like going further and further back into his neck, and just went no, and said something like there was not a cut in sight in his lower body. And I saw someone had put on YouTube, they quoted you and put slight exaggeration.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I was there. And in fact, he got softer for the night show in his legs. There's nothing going on, and it's so frustrating when someone that good. The thing is, he was cramping on stage because they just cut too much water. That's not water, that's body fat he's got to lose.
Yeah, this is the problem. The worst you can ever look. If you are not in condition, the worst thing you can do is pull your water. You may as well just up the water and keep eating, because at least then you'll be full. Yeah. But a lot of the time people think, oh, shit, we're going to cut the water and... Yeah,
did you see his ab rolled up, it crunched up, he was cramping that badly. He in the pose down, he just went to the back and he wasn't posing, his stomach was... And I've seen that happen with Samuel Haddad at the 2011, they have to stretch it off.
Oh, it must have been so uncomfortable.
It's very painful. But I still think Rowley will be Sean Roden's biggest. I could see the top 3 at the Olympia being Brandon Curry, Rowley, and Sean Roden. I really do. And then I think the rest will be Ramy, Bonac. Not sure who the 6th one is. I'm trying to think. I probably left out somebody completely obvious there.
I remember just talking about cramping. Oh my God. I used to get the worst cramps after stage because I used to binge. So you'd not drink any you know, hardly any water for like a couple of days, and then the next day I would just, well, straight after the show, I wouldn't drink any water. I would just go straight in for thousands of calories of junk.
Oh,
and it literally would just be like rolling around on the floor with like your leg like spasming, and you just have to lie still until it. Oh, it was horrible.
Oh no.
I didn't do that that kind of stuff towards the end as much, but
it's not good.
No, it's really bad.
Not good. So yeah, so I think Rolly, it's one bad showing, doesn't matter. He can tighten up now for Arnold Australia, he'll move up, and then I think he'll peak perfectly for Arnold Brazil, and then everyone will be hyping him again for the Olympia title.
Yeah, it's so funny, isn't it? It's just like...
it's just one show. It's one show. It's not like he's come in with a missing body part. I mean, everything is there. He's freaky as hell. He just came in. In fact, I think he was lucky to get 5th. I had him maybe 6th or 7th because his condition was really off. But don't worry about it, Rolly. Just get it right.
It would be interesting to hear from him. I always think when things like this, you want to hear what the athlete says, because sometimes there is a story behind. Well, often there's a story behind stuff, isn't there?
I'm hearing a lot of different reasons, Nick. Not excuses, but reasons. But it doesn't matter. It's done now. It's done.
What about the guy that was abusing you because you got Nepal and India wrong?
Oh, start. It's like, sometimes I wonder where all the bodybuilding fans are when they're like, no, he's in Nepal, not India. This is geographically a separate place. And it's like, oh, guys, come on.
Is that the main point of the conversation?
Rolly looks about 30 pounds out and you're talking about where he is geographically. It doesn't matter. It's not important. Fuck's sake. Anyway, right, okay, we're going to go on to a little bit of footage of a very, very cool call-out when Luke Sandow got compared to Cedric.
I saw this, yeah.
This is when we figured out that this was for 3rd and 4th place.
Luke must have been so buzzing when he got called out to be compared against Cedric.
When Luke got first call out, you could see him going, what? I mean, he looked amazing. And do you know what? I thought I'd never hear myself say that Luke was going to probably be the hardest in the top 6. He probably had, him and Bonnack had the best conditioning in the top 6. And this is someone who's always been criticised for his...
yeah, just those last couple of weeks, that last peak week.
But after the judging, I went back up to my room and I was doing some social media updates and stuff. And I messaged Luke, I WhatsApped him and I said, Lucas, I think you got 3rd, mate. And he went, well, I've come for top 6. He says, so anything else is a bonus. And I said, look, I think you should be 3rd, but be prepared for 4th or 5th because you're going to be stepping over some really big names there, like Rolly, like Josh Lenartowicz, like Cedric. I said, so, and he says, well, I'm happy. Top 6 is what I came for, so that's what I'm after. But yeah, so let's go to this footage of Cedric and Luke. This is for 3rd and 4th place. So just see what you think of this.
Front lat spread.
Yeah. Awesome, Luke.
Side chest. Back double bicep.
Badoom.
Back lat spread. Abdominals and thighs.
Nice. Beautiful.
Your favorite, most muscular.
British beef.
Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line.
Yes, so absolutely fantastic result there for Luke. It's funny because I saw him on the final, because I went for brunch with Sean Ray, and we came back to the hotel. We were just sat up in the lobby, and Luke comes over, and he still hadn't sunk in. And in fact, I've got some footage when he came to the front of the stage, and he says, "Giles, can you just confirm that says 3rd place on it?" In fact, shall I show it? Yeah. Oh, light's gone off. Yes, so let's show that now, and I'll change.
Amazing. We've had a great night, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of everyone at the Arnold Classic, thank you and good night.
Fantastic.
Come here, mate, shake my hand. it happened, mate. I told you. You don't believe it, do you?
That's a 3, isn't it?
What?
That says 3rd place.
Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, how did it feel, mate?
Yeah, selfie.
Awesome, mate. Well done.
Very huge.
Fantastic.
Of course, and where am I looking? There's about
right here.
Okay.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Perfect. Now we got this one. Boom, boom, boom.
Yes, so Luke was saying, he says, I woke up this morning, Giles, this is the day after the show. He said, I've woke up, I've got 40,000 new followers on my Instagram. He says, and plus now I've woken up and I'm an actual professional bodybuilder that is not just making a living from this, I'm making a great living. Because by making top 6, his sponsors, Redcon, increase his salary. And usually they get bonuses for doing, the better they do in contests, the more bonuses they get. So he said, Giles, I've woken up, he says, and now I don't have to rely on other things to support my bodybuilding. I'm making a good living from this in itself. And so the next for Luke is the Australia. And he's also doing the Indie Pro, and he's also going to do the British show in June.
Does Luke have any... like taglines or nicknames?
The Juggernaut.
The Juggernaut. Have you made that up, or is that his actual? Right.
No, it's from X-Men.
Is that do people know him as that though? Or
yes, the Juggernaut. Yeah, he has some cool clothing as well.
That's what I mean. Does he have some stuff with the Juggernaut on? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Brutal Muscle, that's his website. He's a partner in that. So, brutalmuscle.com there. Check that's a subscription-only website. Doing a fantastic job. Really good video clips from all over the world. It's good quality content, very nicely produced. And so give them a look, give them a check out, and buy your merchandise and all that from stuff there. So yes, very good. So okay. Oh, in fact, I'll show the little just the show poster for the London show in June. I'll show that now. 3. Yeah.
Tick it off.
3, 2, 1. Yes, so Luke will be doing that show in June. The only reason he says he's doing it is because that's the first show his mum's going to come to.
His parents can go and see it.
Mum can see him compete.
None of my family's ever seen me compete.
Never?
Nope, not even one show.
Oh, why?
They don't love me.
Probably. Yes. Yes. So, yes. Also, I'm going to show another clip of somebody else who is going to be making his pro debut at the London show in June.
Yeah, I'm going to the toilet and I just bumped into this guy.
Boogeyman, baby.
Boogeyman!
We're here, baby.
We need to get you on Globe Muscle Radio.
Arnold Classic, baby.
Arnold Classic?
We're here.
Okay. Hang on. Okay, well, keep an eye out for this
guy. See me in UK soon. We're 18 weeks out.
They're not going to let you back in there.
We're 18 weeks out, so you're going to receive me soon, my pro debut.
Awesome. Oh, yeah. You heard it here first.
UK, I'm coming.
UK.
Let them know.
Yes, so this is newly relocated Blessing Awadibu, now living in Florida, now with Redcon. Huge social media following because he does all those funny, silly videos, nicely edited. And did you see the one where he did the music video?
No.
Yeah, he's a rap song video thing.
Really?
Yeah, go to his...
and he's rapping?
He's actually singing it. It's like a proper music video. And it's like about whey protein and all that. And there's all these girls dancing on cars and everything.
I want to do something like that.
Should do. Should. Why not just do it?
Yeah, but you want, when you do something like Eagle, you want to really do it properly with you want to do it with something like a proper videographer.
Well, this looks like it was done with a pretty good budget. I mean, I don't know how much they spent on it, but it looked really, really good. So, yeah, good on you, Blessing. And looking forward to seeing him. It's funny, I interviewed him. Remember I interviewed him at the 2017, when you were waiting for Nathan Diasha, when you were interviewing him at the Arnold Europe. And I said, Blessing, I saw him, because he was an amateur then. He ended up winning that amateur show. I think he won like five shows that would have qualified him to turn pro.
Yeah.
Won like the Diamond Cup and the Arnold Europe. And
did
the Arnold
he not
Classics.
take it?
Yeah, he obviously did eventually. But it's funny because I got told off for interviewing him. They said, look, Giles, just concentrate on the main pros. And I said, no, this guy he's on MTV. He's got like 1 million followers. He's on the rise, this guy. So, they said that about when I interviewed William Bonac as well in 2012. So,
they know now, though.
Well, I hope they do, Steve. Yeah, it's like last year when I said, oh, please, can I interview this guy? And I said, who's that? His name's Kamal El-Gagni. He's really good. He'll do really well.
It's only taken the world 30 years to realise you're a genius.
Just remind me how Kamal did last year at the Arnold Classic.
He won it.
Yeah. So, I'm not always right, but 99 times out of 100, I am.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, right, we're going to go on to it's the only athlete update we have, because like I said, I wasn't planning to do an episode this week, but he's originally from Wales, a guy called Jamie Dorogo, 25 years old. He's actually 26 today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, and he turned Paul he turned pro. Sorry, my mind's not thinking about the Rosie thing.
Paul.
He turned pro in India. Oh, sorry, I mean Nepal. 2 weeks ago, he turned professional there. Went straight into the New Zealand pro yesterday, yes. And, they're like a day ahead, aren't they? So it's Monday there. So Sunday. Yes, no, he took 4th place. What?
Sorry, I was just still trying to figure out what day it was in Australia, in New Zealand.
New Zealand, yes. So I reached out to him yesterday, and he did this clip, this athlete update, nicely edited, beautifully put together, with him and his friend who turned pro in the Classic, and he put that together, and that came through on my phone this morning. So big thank you, Jamie, for that, and we will go to the update now.
Hey Giles, my name's Jamie Dorigo. I'm Darren Farrell. We recently competed in the New Zealand Pro. So yeah, Jamie competed in the Pro Show. I went there as an amateur, won my pro card, and competed in the Pro Show straight away afterwards in Classic Physique. Yeah, I won my pro card in Nepal a few weeks earlier after a bit of a nightmare trying to head to the Arnolds. Ended up getting rejected with my visa and had to have a 16-hour flight back to Dubai, where I currently live. Ended up heading to Nepal the next day and earned my pro card in Nepal. And then had the New Zealand show planned to already do with Darren as an amateur. We headed there and he got the job done as an amateur, earning his pro card in Classic Physique. I placed 4th in my first ever pro show, which I made up by. That's my pro debut. To place top 4 was amazing. So future plans for us, or myself, I have a few shows in mind. I'm not going to say the dates just yet because I have a few to choose from. But I'd like to do another show to step on stage with some people that I've looked up to over the years, especially growing up. You know, I've watched some amazing pros. I'd like to be up on stage next to them. So I plan to do another show for myself and get on stage next to some of the pros that I've watched over the years. Yeah, and I've got some plans ahead. We're straight back into prep now again. Like Jay, there's a couple of shows in mind. I'm not going to say which one exactly I'm going to do just yet, but my body's feeling fresh. This was a really good prep. I feel like I've got a lot more left in me. can still grow into this. So yeah, I'm going to pick a big show in sort of 10 to 14 weeks time, and just put myself out there and see how I fare against some of the bigger guns.
I just want to say thank you to Annabelle Designs, my sponsor, for helping and supporting me through this. They've been amazing to me.
And likewise my sponsor ProSubs, they've backed me the whole way. My trunk sponsor Activewear, they've just had faith in me as an amateur, and hopefully I can pay them off now that I'm a pro and start doing some business.
Yeah, so looking forward to the future. I know I'm still young in this sport. It's my birthday tomorrow. So I'm still young in this sport. I've got years ahead of me. So I'm looking forward to the future. I know where I can potentially take it. So I'm very excited.
Likewise, yeah, we're just let's take it to the next level now, see what we can do, and have fun along the way.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, thank you.
Yes, so big congratulations there to Jamie. 25 years old, you know, great physique.
Awesome.
Big potential. So look forward to seeing him. He's been around for a few years, and I've never actually reached out to him before. I've never actually spoke to him before. I should have, really, because he was like winning overalls as a junior and everything. One of these guys really kind of ahead of his, you know. Taking a go on to another, I was a bit of a fanboy moment. Kevin of our own. Very excited when I saw him, and I had to say this to him.
Okay, if it wasn't for this guy here, I probably wouldn't be here right now. Yeah. Say hi, Kevin. This is the man. Yeah! Kevin the
Yes, so that was me bumping into Kevin at the expo, and I said to him, I said, Kevin, I said, if it was, I also said off camera as well, I said, Kevin, if it wasn't for you, I might not actually be here, because when I was 18 years old at the 1994 British Grand Prix, he encouraged me to get working for magazines, and then within a few months, that's when I started. And here I am now, sat with you, dear.
Yeah.
So everything just turned out wonderful.
Everything turned out rosy.
Everything turned out rosy, yeah. And yes, so yeah, I just wanted to thank him again, you know. And I said to him, I said, you know, and then he said, no, he said, it was nothing to do with me. He says, you'd have found your own path. You'd have done it anyway. But I was like, yeah, but you were the turning point. Probably you were the one that probably gave me that little bit of extra bit of confidence to actually take action.
Sometimes I think everybody needs a person that they really, really respect and look up to, just to say one thing for them, one thing to them, for them to really believe it in themselves.
It was.
It's like I've had lots of people sort of tell me, you know, different positive things about myself. You're this, you can do that, da 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 da. And since I started my business course with Mark Coles, like he is someone that just has 10 times more impact. Anything he says to me has 10 times more impact.
Yeah.
And it's like set me off on a real, much more powerful journey, because I have this, when someone like that tells you you are inspiring, which I've never really felt like that before, but when he said it kind of hits you really in the heart, and it's like, I am, you know. So I think it's just that one person can have a massive impact on you.
It's like Dr. John Peterson said, because he likes to reach out to young men, you know, to try and set them on the right path. When he says,
like, Michael Jackson.
No, not that young. And he says it's amazing how little encouragement young men need to turn their life to a much more positive route. He said it's amazing. He says, and it just makes the smallest thing, you know, from encouragement from people like myself or anyone can have a huge impact on people. So it's important that you do encourage people and you try and point out their positives and their talents and their abilities and encourage them. So it's very important. Pay it forward. So So yeah, so big thank you to Kevin there, and it was very cool to catch up.
Well, I think, sorry to just keep this train of thought going, but I think a lot of young lads especially, like when they get to school, you know, a lot of, and girls as well, they can kind of lose a bit of interest in, a lot of kids don't enjoy school. It's like you're trying to teach them stuff that has no relevance to them. They don't see the importance of it. So all of a sudden the kid is labelled as lazy, demotivated, stupid, and it's like those things carry on into people's adulthood. They think that they're not capable of achieving highly because they never did in school, and they were always told, you know, why are you such an underachiever? It's like, so, you know, like you have one person that just sort of switches on the other side in the brain, and it can make such a difference.
Yes, it does. Absolutely, 100%. Yep. Right, okay, moving on. Yes, I'm going to go run a little clip of Luke Sando training with James Hollinshead, another rising British pro, very young guy, only 30, 31 years old. He's going to be competing this year, I believe, in the London Pro as well, and also James Hollinshead. Yeah, I think he's going to do Prague as well again. So if you remember a couple of episodes ago, I did a thing with James Hollinshead. And he's squatting 7 plates aside for 8 good reps. So that caused a bit of a shockwave through the sport, and and Luke even admitted because they trained together, obviously, and as you see in this little clip. He said that James is stronger than him because Luke is a strong bastard.
Yeah.
I mean, really crazy strong. I think he did 800-pound deadlift a few weeks out from the Arnold.
He's just like a big brick wall, isn't he?
Juggernaut.
Like,
do you know the character? Because Juggernaut just runs through walls.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's where the name comes from.
Like, I have no idea why I have this image in my head, but I'm imagining me running up, trying to give him like a chest bump. And then you just kind of go, like, smack into him and then slide down. Because you think you bounce off, but you don't. You just go.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. I think he was something like 260 at 5'8" on stage, shredded, which is bloody impressive. And the waistline looked good. I mean, the aesthetics look good. He's, you know, absolutely fantastic. So anyway, let's go to the clip now of Luke training with James.
Just right off the tongue. We're Crayford. Big Luke. Medium James. We're going to do legs. So we're going to feel 7, and if it feels good, like Luke says, we'll belt up and we'll embrace 8.
What it is when you get a little bit scared, the adrenaline kicks in. You seem to be able to dig deeper, and everything just feels a bit like it's like flight or fight mode.
My legs are fucked, so this should be funny.
Yes, so in fact, there's a lot of people saying that there's echoes of Luke's physique with Dorian Yates. I don't think he's quite at that level yet, the level of conditioning. I think he's still got maybe another 5-10% to go before he gets that real. But he's certainly, from the improvements he's made, it's funny, I sent him a picture from when he did the Arnold 2 years ago. And I thought he was good then, and it's funny, and I sent it to him, and he said, "Who is that big butterball?" I said, "You look like a big barrel." And honestly, it's like you can see the improvements he's made.
How old was Dorian when he was at his peak?
He was only early 30s. He was very young, Dorian. I think he was retired by the time he was 35, maybe.
Really?
35, yeah. Whoa. He was in the Olympia, yeah, in the late 20s, early 30s.
That's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, very good. But Luke's only 31. So he's got.
What I mean, like.
So maybe Sergio Oliva,
time-wise.
Maybe Sergio wasn't trolling us when he said Luke will be the next Mr. Olympia. So, in fact, going to Dorian, this clip came up on my Instagram, and just a little reminder of the level of conditioning and everything that Luke can still attain. Because don't get cocky, Luke. Don't get cocky. Just because you've done well here, still got a way to go, mate. So, so just have a look at this video, Luke, and then that's the new benchmark for you. So check it out. to. So Dorian Yates, that 1993 Olympia. I mean, that was like when Ronnie in 2003 Olympia, he just took the sport to a whole new level of conditioning and, 257 shredded. That was unheard of in those days. The guys were like 220, 230, and then Dorian comes along with the best condition at 20, 30 pounds heavier than everybody else and just destroyed everyone. So, yes. So I could see very, very good things ahead for Luke.
It must have been so crazy for all the fans to see that kind of conditioning for the first time. Like, was it Gaspari was one of the first, wasn't he, though, to bring something different?
Yeah, ripped glutes about 84, 85. 85 was his first Olympia. I think he took, did he take third place there? Third place, fourth, fifth? Yeah, he made top 3, top 5. And that was, he took conditioning to another level.
Yeah.
Because ripped glutes weren't even in vogue then, but Rich Gaspari came along and oh shit, everyone needs ripped glutes now.
Yeah.
So, cool. Okay, we're going to go on to the next of this guy. This is a new edition of MD. Also with my new Global Muscle Radio column. Global Muscle Radio? Global Muscle Buzz. Sorry, so many global muscles. Of George Peterson, who won the Classic.
Now, is this the guy that you said has the best back?
Yes. Yes. And this is who I said. And in fact, if you watch this little video clip of me with George backstage.
Because that is freaking symmetrical.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Fantastic.
Looks a little bit like my back when I was...
Yes, sort of. Yes. So let's show a little bit of video footage of me talking to George, and then a little bit of footage of Ron interviewing George, and then we did something we don't normally do. We're going to hit some poses after the interview, so check it out.
Here backstage Friday night, and this guy...
That's the man, Giles, right here.
Just won the Classic.
That's right.
Called it 6 weeks ago.
He sure did. When he called it, I believed in it.
Listen to me.
The only expectation we had was to come in better than we ever did. And we did that.
Justin, you were sending me update pictures and videos. This guy looked ready like 6 weeks ago. He was in better condition. I'm not putting anybody down. 5, 6 weeks ago than most of these other guys were today. Do you have a strategy with him? Does he get him ready? Or does this guy's physique just tighten up? We can do this, but
best back in the IFBB Pro League.
Definitely an exception. That is just the most insane back. Okay.
Boom!
Shows her one from the back. Boom. That's why. And there you have it, folks. The greatest back in Classic. Maybe the greatest back in the sport, competitive sport today. It sucks. Congratulations, George. Well earned. Justin, well done. Appreciate you guys taking the time, and congratulations again. See you at the Olympia.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so as George said, I called it weeks ago. So the thing is, it wasn't a hard prediction to make because he was third place twice at the Olympia. There was no Chris Bumstead or Brion, so it was obvious he was the favourite to win. And he's putting out regular video content on Instagram and on MD. And the guy was in contest condition for like 6-7 weeks before, so it was no shock for him to be.
Where's he from?
He's from New York. Yes. So and he might, just putting a rumour out there, he might be a guest on Global Muscle Radio. Very soon, no guarantees, just in case he drops us in the shit.
I want Victor.
Victor, I'll get Victor.
I can't think off the top of my head right now.
Dexter, I want to get. Oh, also with Global Muscle Radio, we have a legend made top 2 at the Olympia who will be in the UK next month, and I am trying. We shook on it. He's definitely going to come on, but if he's in the area when he's doing this UK tour with a company he's associated with, we might be getting him in the studio. Don't say his name.
I can't remember.
Okay, well, I'll tell you later. I'll remind you later.
Okay.
So, yes, I'm really excited about that. And also, Kevin Avrone said he would come on. Also, Sean Roden. Sean Roden got a yes off him. He said when he's back from Australia on the 20th or the 21st, he said message me and we'll hook up and we'll get on Global Muscle Radio. He calls me his proper British friend, Sean Roden. He says I want to talk proper, like Giles.
Proper.
That's what he said. Yeah, I was sat with Ron at some lunch and Sean came over.
Yeah, it's funny because the Americans will always say You and Rosie have such different accents.
Well, you're from the north, I'm from the south.
Yeah.
So, and we met in the middle.
Call us northern monkeys and southern
wankers.
Is it southern wankers?
Well, that's what I get called. Welsh wanker. Yes. And shall I show that clip of? Oh, also no, I'll go to that later. Yes. Oh, sorry. No, it is next. Sorry, I got a bit confused there. I was taking off my notes properly. Yeah. Yes, I'd like to put it out there that I'm not stalking Flex Lewis.
Okay, and his whole family.
And his whole family. I'm not stalking them, I promise. So I've got proof. So let's go to that clip now. This was at the night show at the Post Down, sat at the front, and I was sat right along from Flex Lewis. I think he was pretending not to see me. He was like, oh, God, not Giles again. So just check out Flex's reaction when he actually realises that I'm actually stood right behind him.
Where do you sit it? Where do you sit it?
Yes, so as you can see, Flex was very
excitable.
He's always excitable.
Just looks like a big furry bear right at the moment.
Yeah. And we had a little bit of he also tapped out on our suit showdown.
Okay.
Did I tell you this?
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, I had my new suit on from Newman's Tailors. I'm wearing that tomorrow for Global Radio. Fully tailored. And I said to Flex, actually, I'm going to save this story for Global Muscle Radio.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just going to bore you. I want to finish off the show now. Because I've got to get in there editing, because tomorrow morning I've got to go to the airport to pick AJ up.
I need to work as well. I need to write my MD column article.
Well, maybe you should be like me and get it in early.
It will be in early, because tomorrow, it's not due till tomorrow. I'm getting it in today.
Well, I got mine in yesterday, ahead of you, again.
Well, no one likes...
That's why they put me in front of you in the magazine, because
no one likes...
I'm teacher's pet.
No one likes people like that.
Right, okay. Also, talking of your column, your column this month in Muscular Development magazine, there we go, insect protein, steroids, there we are. This is Rosie's...
Oh, this is the one with Jen Taylor in as well.
Yes, that's right. Have you looked at it yet?
No.
She just writes it and sends it off. Yes, do you want to expand on what you talked about there?
Yeah, so I did a little piece about can you be a bodybuilder and vegan, because it's kind of become like a little bit of a trend at the moment, like a lot of people turning vegan. I know a lot of, even like some of my clients that do bodybuilding, kind of hardcore bodybuilders, messaged me and said, how would you feel about coaching me as a vegan? And for like a couple of them, I was just like, it ain't gonna happen. Like, I just know that they wouldn't be able to do it, because a couple of them have to go very low carbohydrate to drop body fat, and to get your protein intake high enough is quite hard, because a lot of the vegan foods are high in carbs.
What about, are they high in fats as well? So you've got to really be careful.
It's hard to get the macro.
Right.
The macros in the right.
It says there, the title of the article is "Vegan Bodybuilders, Are There Any?" ? And it's like, I saw a guy that did that, went to vegan, and he came back the following year, and he still looked good, but he didn't look anywhere near as good. So, with so many people turning vegan, is it possible to progress and look as good if you don't eat meat?
So, here's my thinking. I believe I could never have done it without meat. I just know for a fact, because even I could add in something like steak one day and look 20 times better. Yeah. So I know for a fact that my body would change in a positive way for stage, for bodybuilding. There was a quote I saw from Charles Poliquin saying that, and I mean, he worked with heaps of athletes at very high level, and he said he's never met a really strong person that didn't eat meat.
Yeah. I get stronger when I include red meat in my diet. But things with vegans, you can't even have egg whites.
No, I know.
So what are the protein sources?
Fish as well.
Whey protein?
Super hard to figure it all out. But
what's the best protein sources?
Well, there's all the things like, I don't know how you pronounce it, seitan, S-E-I-T, and I think there's tofu, there's corn, but like a lot of it is very high in salt as well.
Yeah. Corn's like processed though, isn't it?
Processed,
Yeah,
and so I don't know how easy it would be, like getting closer to the show. Potentially you could do it off season, maybe. But I know for a fact my body would never have responded well to that. I couldn't have done it. Also, I mean, because I had 4 months without any meat at all after I finished my prep. And it took about a month before the muscles started atrophying.
Right.
So here's my thoughts on it. I think we do eat too much meat.
Right.
I think it's bad for the gut, especially over a long period of time. I think there's a lot of health benefits to doing a vegan diet.
Okay.
But for short periods of time.
Right.
Not necessarily,
Not full-time
okay,
vegan.
now I am a vegan and I never eat meat. But I do think, looking back at my bodybuilding, I think it would have lengthened my career as a competitor for gut health and just overall like anti-inflammation and things like that. I think it would have benefited me to have had 1 day a week completely meat-free, like a fast almost, and had periods of time during the off-season completely meat-free too. And I think you could go less meals, because I was so fixed on, you've got to have eggs, meat every 2-3 hours. But looking back, I know differently.
Right.
Because like I say, it took a whole month before my muscle really started to atrophy.
My feeling is, my instinct's telling me that an actual bodybuilder could not look as good as they need to look if they do a completely vegan prep. But say bikini.
Yes.
Bikini could get away with it because they don't have to retain and eat as much protein.
Agreed. And
but not bodybuilding.
There will be certain people from certain, genetics that it don't matter what they eat, they still look ripped, they still look amazing. You'll get certain guys that could just live off Cocoa Pops.
Yeah, like Michael Lockett.
Yeah, like I had a friend, this dude at the gym, and he was trying to sell Herbalife, and he was saying, this is what I take. The guy was ripped to death all the time. His delts, I've never seen such sharp, capped delts.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, pal. Your genetics, you could do whatever you wanted and you're going to be huge and ripped.
Metabolism.
But give that to, a different sort of genetic makeup, then it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, that's my thoughts on that.
Fantastic. No, it's very interesting, actually, because it is such a huge growing trend now. Right.
I don't eat hardly as much as... I hardly ever eat steak anymore for my gut, and I probably eat... I don't really eat chicken anymore either. I just eat white fish. I
eat red meat now. I've started eating like steak mince, and I eat a lot of fish. Some breaded chicken stuff, but I don't really eat a lot of chicken.
I don't really eat chicken anymore. I have like eggs maybe once a day, fish twice, white fish.
Yeah.
And I've got this new protein shake. What's the name of the... I can't remember the name of the brand, but it's made from bone broth. And it's really, really, really good for your gut.
Okay.
Because bone broth helps to heal the membrane lining of your gut.
Oh, okay.
It's really, really good.
Cool.
Very expensive, though.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Right, we're going to go to... Oh, here's ringing. Yes, we're going to go to the winner of the women's physique, Natalia Coelho, 22 years old. I interviewed her straight after she won. Lovely girl. Looked fantastic. To me, she was a favourite going in. She was the clear winner. Her arms were better. She had a nicer look to her physique now because I think her muscles were around her, so she didn't look as stringy.
Gnarly.
Yeah, she looked. She was still shredded, but because everything's rounder and fuller, it kind of gave her a bit of a more appealing look, which I think looked better for women's physique. So yes, I've got a little clip here taken from the Arnold Classic Instagram. Just a little bit of footage of Natalia on stage. Yes, with the women's physique, I really like Sharonica Henton.
Yes,
I
really like her, but now you can tell me because you were there. Were her legs too small this year?
Yeah,
they'd atrophied, hadn't they?
Yes, I'm glad you noticed that because her upper body, she looks like a slightly less refined version of Shanique Grant. She honestly, if you squint, you'd think, or saw the silhouette.
Her shape's incredible and
beautiful, very feminine.
Her upper body is better than Shanique Grant's.
But if you remember when you did the Olympia 2016, I looked at Sharonica and I was like, oh, she's fantastic, but her upper body's amazing, but her legs were so they had a real lack of conditioning. So she came back this year and her legs were more conditioned, but like you said, they look small. She needs to get that lower body, upper body ratio. Oh, lights gone. Sorry, there, I just had to change the bulb again.
Yeah, so because she looks quite tall and
beautiful shape.
Without that fullness in her lower body, the lower body didn't match the upper at all. It was like two different bodies. But sometimes I think genetically, when people hold a lot of fat on the lower body, to get the conditioning, they end up losing the fullness and the shape.
That's what's happened because before her legs were big, but they were lack conditioning. Now she's got a bit more condition. She's lost the size of them. Yeah. So she's, I mean, she is literally, like I said, she's in the mold of Shanique, and I think she's potential. She's been 6th at Olympia before. She's been top 6, and I think she's. If you look at all the criteria of women's physique, she fits it perfectly.
I love her look.
She's beautiful.
I love her look.
Wonderful.
And she's just looks so healthy and cute and yeah.
Yes, and also the girl Pen Pragai, the Thai girl who was 3rd. I thought she was going to get 2nd because she was called out last with Natalia, and eventually she ended up getting 3rd. She was fantastic. I didn't have her in the top 3, but maybe it's because we're not too familiar with her physique.
And the lady who beat me at London was there.
Margita.
How did she look? Her shape looked better, no?
She looked amazing.
Her waist was smaller.
Margita Zamalova. This is who beat Rosie last year at the London Pro. She ended up 10th. No, I think she got 10th at the Olympia last year, and her condition is like next level.
Her condition is crazy, but
still very feminine.
It's so hard only from pictures, but her shape looked so much more pleasing to me.
It did.
At the Arnolds, the waist looked smaller, fuller, because I think at the London, the waist was blocky for me.
Yeah.
And the legs were not shapely enough, but this time everything seemed a bit more pop.
Well, she took 5th place in quite a big lineup. I mean, she could have been 1 or 2 spots higher. I wouldn't have argued if she'd have been 3rd. I could have seen her in 3rd, actually. But, yeah, she looked fantastic, and she's constantly, I mean, the condition she brings is so consistent. Facially, she looks very feminine, very pretty. I saw it with her trainer in the hotel the next day. And
is that her trainer or her husband?
I don't know. She was scoffing a pizza. So, and she looked quite happy with that. So, probably the first pizza she had a year. So, yeah, so the women's physique was really good. Natalia, 22 years old, amazing.
It's frigging mind-blowing, isn't it?
Crazy.
I think I was only 22 when I started training.
Well, Natalia's been competing since she was 16. So she was in figure, and then she switched over physique at the end of 2017.
Yeah.
So
there's definitely something in it when you start younger. You can, like Lee Priest trained from like 14 or something, didn't he?
No, he was competing at 13.
Oh yeah, even younger.
He was on stage. No, he tried to train when he was 13. I think he was doing the couples routines with his mum when he was 17 at the World Championships, the Amateur Championships, as a lightweight, and competing as a lightweight.
I think you can just really build some more solid You know, just obviously over time you build much more muscle fibres.
Yeah. So Natalia, I mean, she's improved her physique. Definitely improved her physique.
Yeah.
You know, she's more balanced now.
Her body looked huge.
It was big. Yeah, she put a lot of muscle on. She's so tiny though. When I was interviewing her, I was like literally towering over her, you know, like over the microphone.
They always are though, these women's physique. They're only small, really.
Yeah, they are.
They're only weenie.
They are. Right, okay, moving on quickly to the figure. My favourite figure girl, lady, Sydney Gillen. She won, absolutely amazing. I mean, when she won the Olympia in 2017, because I think Steve and Ron had Candice winning the Olympia, and I was like, nah, Sydney looks, and she won, so I was very smug about that one as well. Yeah, I'd never actually met her before, and I was speaking to her backstage. In fact, I'll show you a clip because she offers me something rather nice. So let's go to that now.
Just been offered some muffins from Sydney. Nice muffins.
I've never had any face like this.
She's eating a lot.
Yes, so Sydney offered me a muffin. Do you like a muffin? Lemon? Muffin?
Was it lemon? I like
muffin. She was stuffing them in her face. She was
What's
loving
your favourite? Was that before she went on stage?
No, afterwards when she won. But she's really, really smart girl because Ron interviewed her. Because Ron, I went, oh, you interview Ron. And I don't know why.
Do you get nervous interviewing women? You never interview the women.
I interviewed Natalia, but I just, for some reason, I went, you interview Ron. And then when I watched her being interviewed, she's really chatty, got a great personality. I just, and I was like, shit, I wished I'd interviewed her now. But really sweet girl. She gave me a big hug at the hotel the next morning when she left. I was chatting to Brandon. And yeah, she's lovely. She's been teaching posing or something. She said since she was 14 or something. She's in school. She's I think she's is it to be a lawyer or something like that? It's she's really, but she's studying and she's an Olympia champion and an Arnold Classic champion, and really, really bright girl, really bright. So she's my favourite, and really happy that she won. I mean, that quarter turn, I said to her, I said, you look like a cartoon character. I said, you look like you've been drawn. That quarter turn kills everyone. No one can compete with that because that's perfection. You know, if you look at the figure criteria.
She does look like a cartoon character though, doesn't she? She's a little bit like Disney.
Yeah, she's tiny.
Disney princess, Disney.
Yeah. So and also another one of my favourites, Jessica Reyes Padilla, who was in, was it last episode of Must News Weekly? Yeah, she was in last episode. Really happy for her. She got 3rd place.
Second?
Nadia Watts.
Can't think of it.
She's like a small. She's like a more conditioned version of Sydney Gillen.
Wow.
But she was good. I mean, Nadia came 3rd at the Olympia last year.
Okay.
I actually had Jessica in 2nd. Maybe I'm being biased. I don't know. No. No, to me though.
I'm joking.
That's what I said actually in my column, which I submitted yesterday, which before deadline, Rosie.
I'm going to get mine in before the deadline. The deadline's not till tomorrow.
Well, I like to. Well, it's good to be early. That's what. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah. What was I saying?
First, second, third. You had Jessica second.
I forgot what I was saying. No, completely gone. Yes.
Jessica
got
Reyes
3rd. Yes. So Jessica got 3rd. Oh, sorry. Yes, I see figure as being more toward the muscular girls who aren't bodybuilders. I see the taller girls being more figure. I see the shorter girls that are muscular more suited towards physique. Physique is like a short girl's muscular class. Figure is a tall girl's muscular class.
Sorry, well it used to be, but Shanique Grant's tall now.
Is she that tall?
I don't know, maybe not. She looks tall.
Well, yeah. Well, that's how I see it anyway. And Jessica is tall. So, yes. So also big best of luck to Jessica, who I want to win the Arnold Australia. So go Jessica. So, yes. What's that backstage muffin clip? Oh, I've already played that. So, yeah. So, okay. Rosie?
Yes?
Do you know one thing I don't like?
No.
Gym gangsters.
I don't like gym gangsters either.
You don't like gym gangsters?
Not quite sure.
Do you want to show you a gym gangster? I'll check this out.
You got it? It's free. Reset. I'm out of here. Reset, reset. I ain't waiting no reset. Come on. Hey, your mom was good. Can I get your number? Your mom was good. Anyway.
Yes, so that's Jim Gangster.
I love his videos.
He's brilliant, isn't he? I like the way to fuck.
I like the one where he's walking down the street and he can't get through the door and it goes.
Oh, with the Mario music.
Ding, ding. Yeah.
Yeah. That was good. That was good on that. Yes. Also, I want to give a little shout out to two guys that gave me a shout out on their podcast, Bodybuilding Nerds Radio. They've talked about me as being a fellow nerd.
Yeah, it's true.
A total bodybuilding nerd, which I'm proud of, I'd like to add. And yes, a big thank you to VJ and Scott McNally, who gave me a really nice shout out. So I appreciate that, guys.
It's very nice.
Keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, the more good outlets for promoting bodybuilding in the media, the better. So keep up the good work. Okay, well, I'm going to finish off with a little clip of me with the champ.
Phil.
No, the champ.
Oh, Brandon.
This is an Arnold Classic special, dear.
Sorry.
The glue. And yes, and then I'll finish the show with something. That's a surprise. I can't actually figure out what I'm going to do. So just go along with it, okay? Yes. So yeah, make sure you check that out. Yes. Okay. Well, that's it for episode 38. So I've got to get this edited now. I've got to get it uploaded tonight. Tomorrow morning, episode 11 of Globe Muscle Radio, more than one guest. Episode 12 on Tuesday, more than one guest. And then I've got our Global Muscle Hot News on MD Facebook Live. And then we're going to put that up on the MD YouTube the next day. So absolutely tons of content coming your way. Stay tuned to musculardevelopment.com. And I will see you probably, I think we might do an episode next week, but if not, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
We're still around.
We're still around, we're just reading comics.
Yeah, I'm not reading comics.
I am reading comics. Okay, right, with Rosie, Rascal, Hart, I'm Giles Thomas, and you have been watching Muscles Weekly, and we will see you next week. See you later.
Somebody wants to say hi. I don't know who he is. What's up, bro? Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Hey, Jay, look at this, mate. How cool is that? Look at the jacket, man. Look at the jacket. Oh, beautiful. Very, very cool. He's definitely going to come on for episode 11. I'm going to do a quick 10-15 minutes, a little congratulations, nice little follow-up. But black again, you know? Yeah. Just like it. Very proud of you, Brandon. Very proud of you. And can't wait to get you on Globe Muscle Radio.
I do appreciate you guys' platform. I'm proud of you both.
Thank you.
Actually, all three of you, because it does take a team to make it happen. And, you know, I look forward to doing it more with you guys. Hope to see you guys in Columbus. Let me know. Yes. I'll meet up with you. Maybe even grab a drink.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, Phil, do you like the new studio? Do you like the new studio? We see the new studio, the new table.
I like the fact that you guys have a real setup. I see the camcorders going. I see that you have, you know, it's all about evolving, right? So you guys are doing it. And that's where I think a lot of people have to realize you're not going to always start a business or a new venture guns blazing, and, you know, that takes a lot of resources. We all have to start somewhere, and you guys are making it happen. And I predict that you guys will continually evolve exponentially because of your hard work, because of your dedication, and you're doing it from your heart to the face.